Ultimately, all we fish for is to make it to the Cup.
It's the event that we travel 20,000 miles to chase.
You don't try to do your best. You have to be your best.
You got to use all that passion that you have for the outdoors.
You don't make it to the Cup by any kind of chance.
You have to earn this. You have to put in your time.
Thinking, breathing, fishing.
I want this Cup. I want it.
Here we are at the Red River. It's 75,000 plus acres. You know, you try to go out and find 5 bass. It's like dropping you in the middle of a jungle.
Oh, it's going to be horrendous out there fighting stakes. You're going to have to have one eye over your shoulder at all times in this tournament at the Red River.
It's a rough little river. I mean, it's treacherous. You don't run around much in the backwaters. It's full of stumps, full of logs, full of snakes, full of gators. And did I say hot?
It's a great location for the Forrest Wood Cup because the best angler is going to come out of there the champion.
Is it me versus the other 45 great anglers? Nah. Is it me against 75,000 plus acres of river? No. It's me versus one little fish.
That's what you call going after one.
I'm not competing against David Dudley. I'm not competing against Brent Ayler. I'm competing against the fish.
What would you do for $500,000?
If you don't know that you can win a tournament or beat the very best fisherman, you're wasting your time.
You know, I probably travel around 40 to 50,000 miles a year. You better want it because it's a lot of time on the road.
All the time that I'm away from my family for weeks on end is to get to this one tournament, to get here today and have a chance at winning the Forrest Wood Cup.
I've got one, and I'm going after 2.
No one has ever won it twice. I want to be the first person to ever do that.
We worked all season to get here, and now it's first or nothing.
This is the Forrest Wood Cup, and I want it.
I want it. I want it.
I want
this.
This.
The World Championship of Bass Fishing is happening right now, and one angler will take home over $500,000 and the title of champion.
Nice one. Bingo, boys!
Woo! It's the Forrest Wood Cup in Shreveport, Bossier City, presented by Walmart. The Red River is a thin ribbon of a waterway filled with lily pads and backwater pools where the largemouth bass can be found. 46 anglers and co-anglers qualified for this championship, and the majority came from the 2013 Walmart FLW Tour. It's a 4-day event, and the field is cut to the top 20 pros on day 3 and then cut again as only 10 anglers will go out on the final day. The competitors need to catch the 5 biggest bass they can each day and bring them back here to the CenturyLink Center in Bossier City.
Louisiana knows how to deliver a good time. Great music, great food, and great fishing. There's a reason this place is called Sportsman's Paradise. We have seen it over the last 2 days. Welcome, everyone, into the Shreveport Bossier CenturyLink Center, where right behind me, a champion will be crowned. $500,000 on the line. Jason Harper, along with Chris Jones, and the legend, the one and only Hank Parker, who knows what it's like to be in championship mode, to hear the crowd roaring and chanting your name. It doesn't get any bigger and better than this, does it?
You know, the whole crowd out here is thinking $500,000, but really, Forrest Wood, the most respected man in all of fishing, the title, the cup, everybody wants that Forrest Wood Cup in their hands, and they want that title. Way more than $500,000. All these fishermen, they want that title.
It comes with a lot of work and a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of sacrifice. We've seen that over the last 2 days, and the weights are really bunched up after the first 2 days. You take a look at the leaderboard, Chris Jones. Randall Tharp, who is known for flipping nasty, thick, heavy cover. He likes to work to get those fish in the boat. He's still doing that, but he's doing a couple things a little different, right?
No, he is, Jason. First off, it looks like a jungle out there, man. The Red River, it looks like a jungle. And so these guys are definitely fishing some really thick, heavy stuff. And Randall, who is a prolific flipper and loves it, that's a different technique. You're punching it, the bait goes right by the fish, you pull it right back out. What he's doing is he's swimming a jig through this, and it's a pulsating, vibrating jig with a skirt that flares when you stop it.
I'm swimming it about 6 inches under the surface and about 2 feet or less of water. They like to stay around hard stuff like logs, lily pads, and I feel like they like to be up in the water column.
Right behind him is Chevy Pro Brian Tripp, who's notoriously a very fast, impatient angler. This week, though, he's had to learn really to slow down, and it's brought him success.
Yeah, he looks like a caged animal out there. He's wanting to fish fast, but it hasn't worked for him. Slowing down, throwing a finesse rig, which is a spin reel with light line and a shaky head worm, a small worm, and just throwing it around anything that looks like it can hold a bass. It has worked out for him. He caught 18 pounds and 7 ounces on day one, including that one that went almost 8 pounds. He believes he's in the right area where the fish are replenishing. He believes he can win too.
As you barely move down the leaderboard into third place is a fan favorite, the General Chevy Pro Larry Nixon, a great friend of yours. Why has he been so dominant the last 2 days?
He's been that way his whole career. He is absolutely awesome. But let me just tell you, this thing is wide open. Larry's been real consistent, and I definitely would not bet against him. But anybody can come up and win this thing. This thing is the Red River. There's a lot of variables. Water, you know, I'm a spectator in this sport, and I've been in competition for years and years, but I've never fished the Red River. And I asked these guys about the muddy water, and they say, Hank, I'm telling you, it's crazy, but if you get muddy water on that main river, you cannot catch the fish. You've got to abandon that area and start over. Muddy water in the backwater, however, may produce bigger fish. So they're looking for muddy water in the backwater, clear water in the river, and they're mixing it up. And it's a lot of variables. There's a lot of things to deal with.
That's why these anglers have to constantly adapt, because the water can cloud up, then they have to go run, and then they come back and check. Some of these guys are locking down to different parts of the river. Time management comes into account. You also have stumps, you have snakes, you have gators. It's amazing what they're having to put together. It really is a puzzle, like a jigsaw puzzle. And so we've already cut the field. 46 of the world's greatest anglers. We've cut them down to the top 20 to fish today. Only 10 make it to the final day. A shot at glory, $500,000 right behind us. The title of champion starts right now.
Yeah, this only comes around once a year. And if you're only going to win one, this is the one to win. I mean, it's a championship, and it's only the best fishermen here, and that's what fishing is about to me. It's about competing against the best and hopefully beating them.
Since moving up to the pro ranks in 2009, Randall Tharp has established his reputation as a tough stick. His win down on Lake Okeechobee in 2012 was a showcase of his dominance in shallow water events, but the event he can never forget is finishing second at the Forrest Wood Cup in 2011.
You know, I fished flawlessly for that entire tournament, and to come up a little short, it hurt. I think about it all the time. I mean, that's a life-changing amount of money. Number one, boys. That's a good one. They're all good ones right now. I know I'm good enough to win this tournament, but I've only, I'm 44 years old. I'm only going to have so many chances, and, I'd like to go ahead and get it under my belt right now. Putting them in there.
12 pounds and 1 ounce. Your champion is Theo Corcoran. Wow!
46 co-anglers fished from the back of the boat over the first 2 days, and for one young man, the dream of becoming a professional angler came within reach.
I'm just a kid chasing a dream. This is amazing.
Theo Corcoran showed both passion and skill as he was able to put together double-digit stringers on both days. His prize of $50,000 will help the young Missouri angler reach his goals.
Dream come true, or at least the start of it. I mean, this is surreal.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Walmart. Save money, live better. Straight Talk. Same phones, same networks, half the cost. Ranger Boats. Still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine. Official engine of the FLW. Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate. With the new HDS Gen 2 Touch by Lowrance. And by Kellogg's. From great starts come great things.
Sometimes even though the current's going one way, these fish won't position with their nose to the current. So you kind of just need to dissect these spots.
You got to put yourself in the places you feel like you can catch 2.5 to 3 pounders. Make good decisions and things have got to work out.
I found these fish before the cutoff, and the river muddied up, and they weren't any good, and they're starting to turn on now.
It's the 2013 Forrest Wood Cup, and for 20 anglers, there are just a few hours left on this third day of competition to fill their 5 bass limit.
I just got to get 5 2-pounders. That ain't that big a deal. That one feels good.
The Red River enters through the northwest corner of Louisiana, and the main factor for anglers is access to backwater pools off the main branch. The key backwaters throughout this event have been White House Lake and an area known as Do Not Dredge.
Oh, jeez. Just a little guy.
Tom Monsour's fish isn't a keeper, but he'll likely make the top 10 cut. That'll keep him fishing on the 4th and final day. As we look at the leaderboard, Chevy Pro Brian Thrift has moved just ahead of Randall Tharp, while Larry Nixon, the legend from Bee Branch, Arkansas, who started fishing professionally back in the late 70s, is holding on to 3rd.
I'm going to flip a lot of new banks. I got a lot of day to flip. And I haven't been flipping most of the day. I've been trying to get something going back in the backwater besides my primary area, and I haven't been able to get that done.
I actually caught my big one every day in the first hour and a half, but I've only got one good bite. I thought the morning bite was going to be the deal. I thought you were going to have to catch a big one early or you were done. You're no chance at a big one, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So it's still kind of a puzzle to me right now.
Brian Thrift is one of the most consistent anglers on the Walmart FLW Tour. The 2010 Angler of the Year has made the top 10 cut at the Forrest Wood Cup 4 times in 6 tries and is now leading the biggest event of the year by ounces with 1 day to go.
I caught some good ones the first day of the tournament in pool 4, but it's going to eat up an hour of my time locking. So but I've still got to try it. Oh, God, it's so small. I thought he was a little bigger than that when I hit it, but we'll take him.
You have to fish thick stuff like this on the Red River in the hot summertime because this is where all the oxygen, the shade, this is where a lot of the bigger fish are going to be located. You can catch fish doing other things, but the bigger fish, I believe this tournament will be won on stuff like this.
All the good-looking places on this river, and I'm fishing the worst-looking bank on the whole river. Nothing mud bank, trying to catch a bass. It's like winning $500,000. One good one's gonna get me fishing tomorrow. Yeah, baby. Well, I'm fishing on the final day of the Forrest Wood Cup.
After fishing for 8 hours, it's time to see if it'll be Thrift or Tharp who moves into the top spot, as these two have been neck and neck every day. Former Angler of the Year, over $1 million for this young pro, Chevy Pro Brian Thrift.
5 bass limit worth 10 pounds, 3 ounces. You take nearly a 4-pound lead.
He's your reigning Forrest Wood Cup champion from last year, Ranger Pro Jacob Wheeler.
Big stringer. 14 pounds and 4 ounces, Jacob Wheeler.
Jacob Wheeler makes an amazing climb up the leaderboard after starting day 3 in 18th place. He's now in position to defend his Forrest Wood Cup title, something that's never been done before.
I can't go out there and catch 7 or 8 pounds today and say I didn't try. I've got to fish where the big fish live.
I honestly feel like I'm on the fish to win. There's no doubt that the quality is there.
You're going to have to get in that 12 to 14 pound range to win this tournament.
Day 3 is in the books. The mighty Red River flexed its muscles. We're now down to the top 10. Most of the field struggled. One of the biggest surprises and jumps of the day was last year's Forrest Wood Cup champion, Jacob Wheeler, from 18th all the way up to 4th place, doing similar things that he did when he won the Cup last year. Shallow, muddy water. waters? Can he be the first angler ever to win 2 Forrest Wood Cups? Still yet to be determined, but let's look at this race that's gone on since day one, guys. Brian Thrift, Randall Tharp. Randall's led every day. All of a sudden, Brian Thrift jumps up, but it's just ounces, Chris.
Yeah, they're flip-flopping in ounces. And I'll tell you what's interesting is to see how these two guys have started to really focus on each other. Both of them have made it public. If I can beat the other one, I'm going to win the Forrest Wood Cup. It's almost like they've forgotten about the other 8 guys. But when you're fishing in the Red River, in the jungle, there's lots of big fish out there. Anything can happen. The deal is both these guys, Tharp and Thrift, are on good fish. They're in good areas. They feel like their fish are replenishing, and they feel like if they can get a kicker bite or 2 early, they'll settle down and fish really, really well. Both of them think they can win.
It's more than just those two. I mean, you know that anyone in this field could catch a 7, 8, 9 pounder. We know they live on the Red River, so you can't count anyone out.
You don't want to count my buddy Larry Nixon out for sure. He had a little stumble on day 3, didn't do quite as well. His water muddied up. That could clear up overnight, and he could be right back in it with a 14-pound stringer. Easy to do. This thing is wide open. You're talking about the best fisherman in the entire world. So to come back from 6 or 7 pounds down is very, very possible on the Red River. This thing is still wide open, guys, I'm telling you.
Well, you know, Hank, I mean, they say every day we're trying not to hold anything back. You have to give it your all every single day. But since it is the last day, there's always a little something extra. Don't you think that they're holding back, or a place that they waited for today?
I do, and you got some guys down there in 8th and 9th place that are saying, hey, I need to make a move. I'm going to spend more time in the backwater where I have a potential of catching a bigger string of fish. And if it pays off, they can come from a way, way back up to the top. They're only 6 or 7 pounds out.
A+ goes to the Red River. I mean, it has really shown off not only some things that may be really difficult to the average angler. You got snakes and stumps and all these things, but it's been fantastic. So it is a shootout, the perfect way you want to wrap up a 4-day championship. We're going to crown a champion behind us. $500,000. How bad do they want it? Time to find out.
I sure would like to throw a frog up there in them pads, but I don't have my frog rod with me.
This is not the deal.
First fish I've lost in the tournament.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Now, you see what happened. It's always about paying attention. Always pay attention to what's going on. I saw that fish move just a tad. Big one. That's him. Gosh, it's big one. Come here, come here, come here. Yes, yes, yes. That's what we were looking for right here. Woo! Yes. Woo!
I've caught a limit here by about 9:30 the last 2 days, and there's still a lot of fish in here, a lot of bait in here. It's just a real shallow backwater area, and in my opinion, it's probably the worst looking place on the Red River to fish. There he is, baby.
Bingo, boys! Yeah!
That's the feeling I need. I just started thinking, I know there's fish down this stretch. Gosh, did he eat? One down. It's the right size right there.
I want to win something awful. This is the 5th time I've made the top 10 in the championship. It's like I always find enough to do good, but never enough to seal the deal.
I'm going to totally fish to try to win. I mean, I can't win doing the survival thing. I know where the big fish are. I've caught a 7-pounder in there in practice. I have not been back in that area at all. Now, I may not catch nothing there, but I'm going to fish to win.
Here on the Red River, I just feel real comfortable. I mean, almost all the fish here live 5 foot or less. That's where I feel the most comfortable fishing. I mean, that's what I'm the best at. I feel like nobody can beat me up here. Days like today are what I live for.
Welcome back to the final day of the Forrest Wood Cup, presented by Walmart here in Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana. Larry Nixon, Brian Thrift, and Randall Tharp are 3 accomplished veterans that have never won the Forrest Wood Cup. While they started the day in the first 3 spots, the man who started 4th is the defending champion, 22-year-old Jacob Wheeler, and he's on a mission to make history and be the first angler to win 2 Forrest Wood Cup championships. He set the fishing world on fire when he became the youngest angler to win the BFL All-American back in 2011. And then Wheeler went and topped himself by winning the 2012 Forrest Wood Cup, his rookie season on tour. He caught only 7 pounds on day one, but has since been on a tear, catching 28 pounds of bass over the last 2 days.
You know, this thing is the biggest thing in bass fishing. I mean, I set out with a dream 3 or 4 years ago to win a world championship. And now it's just, you can't be satisfied with what you have, what you do, what you accomplish. You know, if you're a competitor and you want to win, you just can't be satisfied with 1. You can't be satisfied with 2. You can't be satisfied with 8. Competition drives me. So when Randall and Thrift, Nixon, those guys are in the top 10, they make you fish at a higher level. They make you catch them. If you don't catch them, they're going to smoke you. Fudge. I knew I saw them. They bring your game so far up. I work double as hard, triple, try to work as hard as I possibly can, more than anyone, because these guys are just so good. He's got it. Another good one. Another good one. Boom. Yes! That's another one right there, guys. Another one. I saw that fish just barely push the frog, just a little bit of disturbance. Threw that Trigger X flutterworm in there, and he bit. Whew! Things are stacking up.
So hard to keep your patience. It's going to be a dadgum mental grind for me to keep myself in here to try to win this thing. I'm making sure that I cover the good sections from every angle. I visualize a lot of things. See, I'm seeing things out there that you're probably not seeing, little clumps of grass and ambush points, and my eyes are constantly working.
In these pad fields, these fish can be anywhere. You just got to fish them all, and they may just be sitting underneath one little pad, a nice one. Every now and then you'll come across one that wants to bite.
The reason I'm spending so much time here, there's a little trough or a ditch that runs through here. And like I say, yesterday caught 2 off of it that I boated and put in a live well and missed several nice fish. If I could figure out how to get those jokers in the boat, we'd be doing good.
Yeah, I've got 3, and I've had 3 every day when I've got to this point. I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I've been catching a lot of fish down this stretch of rocks. Today, they just don't seem to be biting, so you know, I got about 300 more yards I'm gonna fish, and then we're gonna be on our way.
Today, it's all about patience. Taking your time, getting in the areas that have a few fish in them, and slowing down. I think what it is all these big ones move out to this edge in the morning when they're feeding. And then when they relax throughout the day, they can get up in all this thick stuff. They might get 50 yards back in there, or 150 yards out there. But in the morning, they come to the edge. They come to the buffet to chomp, to eat. Another big one, another big one. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Don't come off, take your time. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Yes, yes, another big one. Woo! Yeah! Yes, chill, buddy. Another stud. We get 3 more like this, guys. We're in good shape. We got the whole day to catch 3 more fish, 3 big ones, and this thing's over.
Defending champ Jacob Wheeler has made a remarkable comeback and has actually taken the lead after being in 40th place after day 1. On the flip side, Randall Tharp's day hasn't gone exactly as planned.
Yeah, I was hoping to catch a limit here. You know, I'm really not here. A limit's not going to win the tournament for me, so I'm just going to keep doing my job, keep pounding, hopefully get a couple big bites this afternoon. Bingo! Nothing like falling off in the boat. I sure will fish for them big ones a little better with 1 more of those. 4. 1 more. We'll be on track.
Can Randall Tharp hold off a surging Jacob Wheeler? Will Nixon or Thrift find productive water? The answers are coming up.
It's 5, baby. Took me till 10, but there's 5 in the boat.
It's the 2013 Forrest Wood Cup on the Red River, and Randall Tharp has the limit he was looking for out of his first area. Now he's moving to the lily pads near the takeoff that he believes holds the big fish he needs to claim the cup.
There's $500,000 worth of fish sitting right in front of us. I just got to get them to bite and get them in the boat.
But defending champ Jacob Wheeler is jacked up after a strong start this morning, and he's in the mood to make history.
Dude, I'm telling you, literally, we catch 2 more like that, they're gonna have to catch them to beat us. It's on them. They slip a little bit, man, I'm pumped up.
Jacob has fallen back to second after Tharp's last fish, but just a small gap separates them and the rest of the contenders. And with massive bass hidden throughout this fishery, they're all thinking the same thing.
Today's the day right here. Today is my day. Make history.
BFL All-American champ Kerry Milner knows about winning himself. He took that coveted title earlier this year and is betting that working a topwater frog bait through the lily pads will get him where he wants to be at this tournament.
It changes from day to day. Like I say, yesterday I had a lot of fish that would just nose up on it, and you can sit there and play with them for 5 minutes to try to catch them, and they never would eat it. And 30 yards down, one would swallow it. I decided this morning I was going to fish it pretty fast, one pass, and then I may turn around, slow down, and come back up. Pretty solid fish. A blam. I thought it was a lot bigger than that, but I'll take him. For the Red River this week, that ain't a bad one.
Known as the General, Larry Nixon has won everything you can win in professional bass fishing except for the Forrest Wood Cup. He's been a huge part of the sport since the late 70s and is physically tougher every single year, but don't expect Nixon to retire anytime soon.
One of the things that, I get the most satisfaction from, and, that's having a big crowd, because most of them know who I am, and it's one of them things that I've tried to do my whole career is teach people how to catch fish, and, I can't retire as long as they want me to compete. I get texts and Facebooks and all them fancy things all the time by the hundreds, you can't retire, you just keep going, you can do it, and all that. So it's, it's a fabulous feeling.
Well, we got 5. Make one more cast, see if I can get rid of that teeny weeny little bitty old 12 and a hair, and I'm gone.
Michael Neal has had a strong season this year, making 2 top 10 cuts and now fishing on the final day of the Cup. While he started in 10th place today, he's found the right size bass to move him up. His big decision was making the long run through 2 locks all the way down to pool 3. He's had the productive banks all to himself as the rest of the field stayed in either pools 4 or 5. Meanwhile, Troy Morrow has landed 8 keepers today. He just hasn't connected with that kicker fish he's been able to find all week.
Definitely better than what I got. Still not a giant. I'll take it at this point.
The big fish have gone missing for Brian Thrift as well, so he's made the move down into pool 4 in hopes of getting a limit and has landed his 4th keeper.
There's one. Scoring keeper number 4.
He's happy to get a fish into the boat, but not happy about the weight of his 4 fish so far.
I've been starting in pool 5 every day, and I've been coming down to pool 4 for a little bit, and I've been catching some fish within the first couple hundred yards of the lock downstream. And I just come out of the lock and hung a left and got on this rock bank here. There's been some decent fish on. Oh, there's one. There's another one. They got to get bigger. We got 5 now. We just got to get some bigger ones. Maybe these jokers will bite down here and we can catch some good ones. If we're gonna win this tournament, we gotta get rid of all 5 of those.
You know, to be in this position right now, to have the opportunity to win 2, but to be only a couple bites away, maybe just 1 good bite away to winning the Forrest Wood Cup. You don't get those opportunities very often. And when you do, you gotta stay focused 100% all day and give your all. Because this might be the only opportunity you have for the next 10 years. It's the only opportunity you have for the rest of your life.
This is where I'm gonna win or lose this tournament, is in this pocket. I've made my mind up. I saw it yesterday afternoon. The later it gets, the better they bite. This is a real shallow entrance to this pocket, and as soon as it drops off in here, it just goes from like 6 inches to probably 2 feet. And that particular spot is the spot.
We need a river monster right now. These fish are ferocious when they eat the frog. It's unbelievable. I saw you, Joker. I saw you. Yeah, you saw that. I saw you. He moved again. Paying attention was the key to catching that fish. I saw something move out of the corner of my eye. Not just a pound and some change, but that's huge right now. That's huge because I have one that's pound 3 in there and I need to get rid of it. But that fish right there, if you weren't paying attention, I wouldn't have caught it.
Yeah, I've got 2 baits that's really working for me in here. One's this frog and the other is a swim jig. I've actually had way more bites on the swim jig, but my landing percentage isn't quite as good as the frog. I've got a 7.6 heavy action, extra heavy Halo flipping 6 and a 65-pound braided, torque braided line on here. There's one moving. There's one in that path right there moving.
Yeah! Woo! Yeah, baby! It might be a $500,000 fish right there. Good trade. Yes!
All the momentum is with Tharp right now, and he's just a few hours away from possibly winning the biggest event of his career.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Chevy Silverado, the one you depend on, the one that lasts. Castrol, it's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering. Evinrude, power, performance, and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Folgers, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Rayovac, no cords, no outlets, no problem. And by Walmart, save money, live better.
That's what I'm talking about right there. I'm shaking like a leaf, dude. Honey Badger gonna be staying put till 3:45.
It's the 2013 Forrest Wood Cup, and Randall Tharp has grabbed the top spot while everyone else has to play catch-up.
Come on, fish, I can do it, dadgummit. I gotta have some help. If I'm gonna win this tournament, it's gonna be one right here.
But there's some nervous guys right now. You can beat yourself up, you can second guess yourself, but you can either get after it or you're gonna crumble under the pressure.
I'm gonna keep throwing this chatterbait and I'm gonna mix it in with hitting the one spot I've been catching all my big fish. I'm gonna hit it 2 or 3 more times today.
Got a couple hours, I'm gonna go out here and do a little flipping and pitching and try to pull a big one up. I ain't giving up yet.
I'm not gonna leave one stone left unturned at the end of this one, no matter what. Man, 4-pounders can come up schooling right here, and we could win this dude. Anything's possible.
This is about the slowest I can fish in a tournament, and to be perfectly honest, I have won more money in my career fishing like at this snail's pace with a frog than probably any other way I fish. As you saw this morning, the trolling motor was on high and we were covering water, and I caught 5. And now I'm coming in here trying to trick these big ones, and I'm just going as slow as I can possibly go. I mean, I'm just trying to get one big bite.
Yes! Yes.
That one definitely helped the cause.
Randall Tharp's big fish gamble is paying off, and he's starting to add to his lead. Things have slowed down for Jacob Wheeler after his strong start this morning, but he's making a final push in search of a big largemouth. Kerry Milner's had a steady day, and he's moved up in the standings. As has Michael Neal, who's jumped from 10th all the way to 6th place. Mark Rose has caught plenty, but hasn't found a big kicker fish, while Larry Nixon has seen his big fish pattern disappoint so far. After getting a limit in Pool 4, Brian Thrift is back at the spot that he's been hoping would produce a giant bite on this final day, something he needs to get in contention for a win.
Right now I'm throwing a little Evercast Lures shaky head. I've got a 6.5-inch Demiki Finesse Mickey on here. I'm gonna say the wind and the clouds has definitely helped because there's been no current on the river today. So this wind will kind of act like river current. It'll move the water around and stir the bait fish up and kind of make the fish position on the stuff where you can catch them a little better. I think that will help too. Still a little, but I think we're gonna get some more ounces.
Larry's known for his finesse fishing, and his strength this week has been finding fish all along the main riverbank, but he's having to work against his strengths today.
I feel like an idiot back in here doing this because this is not what got me in the top 10, but it's the only way I've got a chance to win. The way the winds are blowing and the boat's still running up and down the river, I can't catch 13 pounds out there on the river. And the backwater's blowed to pieces. You know, if I can't get a couple big ones to hit this frog, I'm just in trouble. That's why I worked on that ridge back there so long, because it's only about 2 foot. One thing about a frog, it's kind of important that you get most of your bites in less than 2.5 foot. You don't usually catch them out there in them 4 and 5 foot pads. One bite, that will change your attitude. Whew. Now, 3 more of them, and I still got a chance.
That puts me in the teens. I knew that would be a good day. That would give me a chance to win the tournament. I'm culling pounds every time I get a bite, not ounces.
One more 3-pounder. I can feel it. One more 3-pounder. We got a shot at this thing.
Randall Tharp is feeling very confident with his weight, but Jacob Wheeler is hot on his heels, and the defending champ is around the same big fish as Tharp.
It's just a little bit more shade. You know, they live out there in this little middle deal. Has a little bit more depth than a lot of the sides do. And this fish, use that to ambush, but that has just a little bit more shade than just the regular water, so he might be up underneath those pads, but I just got a feeling about it. I don't know. Yes! Yes! It's a good one. Yes! Again, getting down, man. That's crazy. Choke that thing. Yes! That's what we needed right there. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good call. One more. One more. I can feel it coming too. Just one more fish.
Walmart Pro Mark Rose is known as the ledge master as he excels at offshore fishing, but his roots are on the Mississippi River, and he knows how to work shallow.
Yeah, a lot of people refer to me as a offshore fisherman now. You know, I would love to go back old school and kind of reclaim some of my shallow water talent as well. I don't know what we got going on here. I think we're under the buoy cable. I don't know if I still got the fish on here or not, but I'm going in. We got him. What would you do for $500,000?
That's all she wrote, boys. Let's put them on the scales.
It's time to find out who will win the prestigious Forrest Wood Cup and the $500,000 that comes with it as the action moves from the Red River to the CenturyLink Center, where fishing fans are ready to crown a champion. Michael Neal, Tom Mansour, Troy Barrow, Kerry Milner, Robbie Dodson, Mark Rose, Jacob Wheeler, Larry Nixon, Randall Tharp, Brian Thrift. Your reigning BFL All-American champion from Bono, Arkansas, Kerry Milner.
You're in contention to win $500,000. He surged on day 2 with 12 pounds and 4 ounces. That's a good start. Yesterday, 11 pounds and 10 ounces. Number 4, a good fish. A 5 bass limit for Kerry Milner. New leader, 11 pounds and 10 ounces, 44 pounds and 7 ounces of Red River bass for the BFL All-American champion.
He made the biggest jump yesterday from 18th place all the way up to 4th place. He knows what this is like on the final day. He's your reigning Forrest Wood Cup champion, Ranger Pro, Jacob Wheeler.
You had a strong limit early this morning. You're looking right now at 2 pretty good fish, but you got 3 more to go. Number 3. Wow! A 5 bass limit. He is the reigning Forrest Wood Cup champion. You needed 9 pounds and 8 ounces. Your limit, 14 pounds and 3 ounces, 49 pounds and 2 ounces of Red River bass is your new leader. Bingo, boys. Yeah!
Woo! That might be a $500,000 fish right there. This is what I worked all year for this one day. This is the biggest tournament there is, and I'm looking forward to having a chance to win it today.
He led on day 1, led on day 2, and he loves dirty, thick cover, and he's been right at home. Can he walk away with his first victory? EverStart Pro, Randall Tharp.
On day 1, 18 pounds and 8 ounces. It was the heaviest stringer of the tournament. In 3 days, 39 pounds and 2 ounces. Wow! Do you have a limit?
I do, Chris.
See him. Wow! A 5 bass limit for Randall Tharp. Looking for 10 pounds. New leader, 14 pounds even, 53 pounds and 2 ounces of bass. Wow!
His 7th time to the Forrest Wood Cup in a row. Can this be his year? From Shelby, North Carolina, Chevy Pro, Brian Thrift.
Fish number 1. On day 1, weighed in 18 pounds and 7 ounces. He was 1 ounce behind Randall Tharp. Day 2, 11 pounds even. He was still just a few ounces behind Randall Tharp. Yesterday, took the lead. He has a 5 bass limit. You need 13 pounds and 12 ounces. A 5 bass limit today for Brian Thrift worth 6 pounds, 11 ounces. Your champion is Randall Tharp. Wow!
Taking the Forrest Wood Cup trophy, $500,000 richer on the Red River.
You're justly proud to have won over a lot of great anglers. Great thrill to me to present you with this trophy. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Randall Tharp.
You know, I've known before some tournaments that I've won, but I didn't really know today. I mean, you look at the guys in this top 10, I mean, they're the best in the business. I mean, Larry Nixon, we talked about it this morning, was catching bass before I ever even had a rod and reel, you know, making a living fishing. And I started out just like a lot of these guys fishing BFLs, club tournaments and BFLs through the EverStart. And, you know, I've been making a living doing this for 5 years now. It's been the best 5 years of my life. My wife travels to every single tournament with me. I would not be here without her. I think it's a little edge that I have. If I have any edge over these guys, it's that my wife's at every tournament. I mean, she puts ice, gasses my boat up. I mean, all I have to do is go out there and catch a bass. I couldn't do it without her.
Your 2013 Forrest Wood Cup champion, Randall Tharp.